Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads. I'm with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, September the 17th races at Hastings. We do have 7 races on tap. Should be a good weekend. The weather is supposed to start changing. It's been so nice.
I know. Hopefully it stays nice. We really lucked out last weekend. We're still in the afterglow of a very successful weekend last weekend, BC Derby Day. Congratulations, of course, to Glenn Todd and Troy Taylor, who took down their first.
Sorry about the rabbit. Forgot
BC
to stop.
Derby. Did he ever? Boy, was he impressive.
Opportunistic was the one.
You can look for Sorry About Nothing to show up for sure in the premiers.
Maybe both of them.
And Opportunistic probably as well as RJ and Lois Bennett.
Touching Promise.
Your wife,
she ran great
and,
in the Delta Colleen.
And
then, of course, the
Amadeo Perez, of course, having a huge day. Touching Promise. Calgary Caper, Lance Giesbrecht, Kim Peacock,
for the Gilkers.
Phil Hall, congratulations to them, and of course Rob and Vicky Gilker and Amadeo Perez
just edged out Snuggles in the great VCO.
There was a lot of good races. There was a lot of good races.
There was a lot of good races.
But that for me was a race of the
Touching
day.
Promise and Arabelle's Muse, a nice mare.
Yeah.
Those two ran right to the wire.
Yeah.
Victress and Snuggles ran right to the wire. Those are two nice fillies, and there were some really good races.
All four are really good. Calgary Caper was
exciting again.
Behind by a quarter of a mile.
Yeah,
and circles the field.
But they went silly.
And Sorry About Nothing just did it so easy. I mean, boy, did he look like a professional in only second start for Troy Taylor. But for me, I loved the Oaks. I thought the Oaks was just the way that Victor's blew by her, it looked like the race is over. Snuggles fought back on, battled the whole way down the wire.
There was a lot of nice races, but still a great day.
And the two champions started races. Yeah, it was a great day. And like I said, we're still in the afterglow of a great weekend. And now we go back to our Saturday, Sundays, first post 150.
The hard-fighting, claiming horses are back in action.
Saturday is more of a blue-collar day.
Potatoes of the racing meat.
That's right. Saturday is more of a blue-collar day. Sunday we do have the 2 futurities, $100,000 futurities on tap, as well as a nice allowance race. But starting the race is off for the weekend on Saturday. First one is an $8,000 non-3 event for older colts and geldings. I went to the 2 Creas here. Mike Anderson, is he ever on a roll? Our leading trainer again, and looking to like he's going to do it comfortably this year.
He's home and cooled.
He's coming out of a tougher race. Power Corrupt, Amber Moon, PS Diamond Cutter. Those are tougher horses than, say, Born to the Track, Forestry's Devil, Tucci. That's why I like him. He's coming out of a harder race. Top connections, Mike Anderson and Richard Hamill. I think Peace Arch is going to go. I think Power Believe's going to go. I think he sits just behind him. Admiral Jackson could go too. I think he sits just behind him, gets a dream trip under Richard Hamill. I have him on top of Peace Arch. Peace Arch's obviously right there. Just gets beat in the neck last time by Born on the Track. Got a 73 buyer that day. Very much in play in here. And comes back with a nice work on September 11th at 47-3. That's a 35 on the day. And through Power to Believe in the 3rd spot. Very impressive. Coming back from a major spill to easily crush his non-2. And has been right there in his non-3. They take his put his blinkers back on after a bit of a dull effort last time, and Jody Rawson, what a season she's having. I went 2, 1, and 3.
Yeah, I have the same 3. I did go with the Jody Rawson runner, Power to Believe. I think this horse can get the lead. I don't think Peace Arch is fast enough to get out there. I don't think Creas really wants to go out there. I think Power to Believe can get the lead. And if this horse gets the lead with blinkers back on, it's going to be pretty dangerous. I know he's been routing in his last couple. I think his best race was sprinting, and he won nicely. I know it was against easier company. But his last 2 races, he's been duking it out on the head end and faltering. I think it's
getting beat by big closers.
Cutting back to a sprint, I think he's going to be really good for Power to Believe. Mario Saunders, an underrated rider, he's really good. I like Power to Believe. To defeat Crease, I know I like all 3 of them, but I mean, you're just looking for a little. I'm just trying to get a penny more for you, or whatever. Instead of a $4 mutual, maybe a $10 mutual, and this might be the $10 mutual on Power to Believe. Creas and Peace Arch are both live, obviously, in this spot. Whoever gets kind of luckier with the trip will maybe win the money. But Creas, it is, as you mentioned, a significant drop in class from the 16 non-3s to the 8 non-3s. But I don't know, I just worry. He's been in some good spots where he should have won, and he's not. So I'm just a little concerned with that. And Peace Arch, as you mentioned, good runner-up effort to Born to the Track. He just had things too easy on the head end. Peace Arch couldn't get him. He's in good form for the Gilkers. I went 3-2-1 though, in a very competitive. I think but they're interchangeable. I went 3-2-1 in the Saturday opener out of race number 2. We had some $4,000 claimers that have not hit the board this year. I think this is the first one we've had this year for horses that have not run 1, 2, 3 at the meeting, and I ended up on the one, Peyton's Best. I like the fact that the blinkers come back off. I thought he's actually run some good races earlier this year. And if you look back, the last time he came from a route to a sprint, I know it was a mile and 3/8. It was at the fall of last year. He did fail as the speed going a mile and 3/8, and he came back and ran a big race sprinting with Jeff Birmingham. Jeff's back aboard. I'm going to play that. I'm going to try him to win it. I'm just going to use that little angle that I just see the route to a sprint might suit him to a T. Better horses cross the line, and Pathway to Yes, they're doing good things, but they're still not hitting the board, and I don't know, I just crossed the line. I put him in the second spot, and I put Pathway to Yes with some speed in for third. I left out Overtime, who could make some Najaran Breeze. I left off, but I just like Peyton's Best getting a trip just in behind the speed like he did last fall, and I'm just going to hope that race kind of recreates again. I went 1, 6, and 8.
I think there is a fair bit of speed in here. I think there's a few horses that want to go, and I'm hoping that Cross the Line doesn't go, that he sits just off the pace.
He will sit off it, yeah.
And that's what I like about Cross the Line for Rob Maben. I have him picked to win it. I put Overtime in second.
Worked good the other day. I watched him work. He worked really good the other day.
Yeah, minute and 4/5, third best of 46.
He worked really good.
So he
looked better. And
this was a horse that ran against some tough horse. He ran against Dortmund.
He won
He got beat 6 lengths by Dortmund in San Diego Derby.
Real Derby or something.
We're second, from Metaboss.
Yeah.
So he's got some back class. This is definitely the softest field he's faced in his career. I'm looking for him to turn around today. I got him on top of Overtime, who's running some 8 non-3s that are relatively tough with Rosie's Notice, Wee Harry, Distillery, Born on the Track, Peace Arch. Those are pretty tough horses. Drops to the 4,000 level right in time to get the non-3, non-1, 2, 3 condition for Mike Chabera. I got him in the second spot.
He's live.
And I put Najaran Breeze in the third spot. Not sure what to make of this horse, but he is cutting back to a sprint. Fourth start of the year. Jim Brown's horse has been running decent lately. The fact that Dennis Arrojo takes over for Gabriel Asensio, that kind of pushed me his way to throw him in for third. I went 6, 5, and 3 in the second. On to the third. 2-year-olds, Maiden 25, going 6 furlongs. No magic juice here. I like Blur's Final Command. Just ran second behind a very impressive All Under Control who's coming back in the Futurity on Sunday. I actually picked him to win the boys' Futurity on Sunday. Now he takes a little dip down to 25. It's Blur's Final Command for me. I put Rob Maben's horse Mustachio in the second spot. I thought a great race his first start. Only got beat a length and a half, going 3.5 furlongs. Behind Mrs. Sport and Bonnie Christine. Now he goes at least 6 furlongs. He's out of a Distorted Humor mare, out of a City Zip mare, so he should, Distorted Humor stallion, out of a City Zip mare. New York bred. Rob went back to New York and bought some horse. He's got another one in this week that's a Florida bred. Right. I was impressed with his first run. I think now going around 2 turns with a race under his belt, he could be dangerous, like him in the second spot. I put Humphrey Ladd in the third spot. Good fourth last time behind Hunter's Appeal, Lemonade, Sunspa. That was for 25. He's back in for 25. He has a start under his belt. Moves to Dennis Arrojo. Mike Anderson pressing all the right buttons. And I know Mike thought this horse could run a little bit in his last start, so that's why I threw him in for third spot. 5, 4, and 1.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to my old friend, Brother Rod, the 3-horse.
You told me you weren't going to pick him again.
Well, I didn't know he was going to be in for 25. I got to take him for 25. I was using a stake race last time. I'm picking him, and I'm picking him in maiden allowance races. Richard did work him in 101 and change. He's aboard. I like Brother Rod.
He has shown a lot of upside, yes.
This is much easier test from Brother Rod, so I'm going to take him. I agree with your 5, Blur's Final Command. That was a good runner-up effort last time to All Under Control, who will likely be one of the horses to beat in the Jack Diamond Futurity tomorrow. And I put the 4-horse Mustachio for Rob Maben for the reasons you mentioned. A good race going 3.5. He's not a 3.5 horse. He gets to stretch out and go about 6 furlongs, and that'll suit him to a T, and he's come back to work well also. But I think Brother Rod, I'm going to give him one more shot, dropping in for the 2 bets, and I'm going to go 3, 5, and 4 in race number 3. On to the 4th race, maiden $8,000 fillies and mares, going 6.5 furlongs. The 5-horse Tormenta Negra looks to have found a nice spot, did have to go a mile in the 16th last time against she hasn't run against the girls yet in his career. Or her career. Yeah. And that was a tougher race, obviously, against Great Promise, Sanor. Coming back quickly, though, on short notice, just 6 days. But Tormenta Negra should be pretty tough to beat on the class drop. Put the 4-horse Tell Us a Tale in for second. A firster from Tail of Caddy out of the mare Borgatello, who could race a bit. And a little leery of the fact they're making a late debut, and obviously some problems along the way. Well, pretty late in the 3-year-old season to be surfacing, but still the works are sporadic. There's little gaps between them, but still it looks like she's showing a bit of ability. Just that there isn't much else to fall in love with in here as well. And I put the 7-horse Currency Express. I'd take one of the Sylvia Gregory runners. It was between the 6 or 7 for third. I went to the 7-horse Currency Express, coming back in from Emerald for the Eldorado Racing Stable. I went 5, 4, and 7.
I got the same top two. I think, those are the two definitely you want to have a look at in here. Tormented Negra taking
Best
the big
horse,
drop.
Tormented Negra.
As you mentioned, she's been running against
Plus
boys.
the 6 days doesn't get her.
Now she's
the
in.
quick turnaround.
She's showing speed too. She should be able to.
Yeah.
She's definitely able to clear these and take them a long way. We've seen Milton and Gabrielle Senzo have some success this year. I got Tormented Negra on top of. I got the same 2nd horse, Tell Us a Tale, Top Connections, Barb Heads, the Bennetts, Ruben Laura. They won one last weekend with You Better Believe It.
Yeah.
And of course, they also won the Delta Colleen, Barb, and the Bennetts. But just a horse that hasn't proven it's been beaten 10 times.
No, it's undefeated. Right now, and there's a lot of horses that you just don't.
There's some long
maybe she
form
can't
on a
run.
few
I
of
don't
these.
know, but I mean, she's at least has some. You have to look at first-time starters or lightly raced horses in these maiden races in the fall.
Tough to get excited about horses that are getting, third by
Constantly
16.
third. They get over bet when they're third and
Yeah.
seconds, and they're beatable.
So that's why I'm going with the one that looks like the favorite, the first-time starter. I threw Rob Maben's horse in again. I told you.
Why not?
If I'm right, Rob Maben's going to have a good weekend. Forever Crystal, 6 last time.
Good.
Ran against Princess of Prada, Velvet Rose. Those are some decent
Those are way better
fills.
horses than these.
Way better than these. Takes the blinkers off. Romario Sanders
not?
rides. 5, 4, and 8 for me. In the 4th, on to the 5th. Claiming 4,000. 4 older Colts and Geldings. Field of 9 in here, going 6.5 furlongs. Non-winners since August 17th. I went with Majestic Mark here. He's dropping out some much tougher races. Ran against Bluegrass Pride. That was going a mile and 1/8. Then he dropped down to a 6.5 race for 62.50. Only gets beat a half by a Beal, and a Beal's a talented colt. Now he's in for 4. This race isn't as tough. He might have to contest with some other pace scenario in here, but I think Majestic Mark is the horse to beat in here. I put the 2 Mr. Candy in here. He got in a roll, win 2 in a row. Last time he was in that same race as a Beal, so he gets a little class relief. He wants to go as well. Top Connections, Richard Hamill and Mike Anderson. Then I wanted a closer to definitely throw in there. And DJ Snow, that race 2 back where he came from the clouds to just hang it on London. If he can get that sort of effort today, he should have something to run at, and he should be closing late. I went 4-2-1.
I agree with the 4 Majestic Mark. I kind of liked him last time, and he got in a bunch of trouble. This horse should have won. This horse was really in a lot of trouble. Make a bit of a rider change here, and I think Majestic Mark's going to be pretty dangerous. I put the 7 Samilkameen Joey in for second. He's the speed of the
he's
race.
live in here.
Kind of a classy horse that if he doesn't get, if he gets left alone, he's going to be tough to catch. Probably the favorite in the race. And I put the 9 horse Prior to County. Horse likes the outside. He gets it again. He ran well from an outside draw last time, and I know it's against way easier company, but he's good on the outside. He's a big, lanky, crazy-legged thing that the inside sometimes compromises him, and the outside is a better spot for him, more comfortable spot for him. And I just think he's going to get a good trip, and he had a big confidence boost last time, so I don't want to give up on him either. I went 4, 7, and 9, but I do like. I agree with Drew. Majestic Mark's your horse to beat in race number 5. On to the 6th race. We do have some $4,000 claimers, non-3 lifetime, going 6.5 furlongs. I think Harbor the Energy has found another field he can beat.
Yeah.
Looked good last time, winning barely. He just did win, but he did lose to My Eye. He's lost to actually a couple of horses that are in the race today, so he's no slam dunk. But Harbor the Energy, there's not a lot of speed in here. I think he gets the lead. It's going to be pretty tough. Put the 3 horse Stone Ridge Ruler, who ran an improved race last time, gets the apprentice Jose Asensio today. As Jeff has to ride for his wife Lacey, the 4 horse. And I put the 1 horse, My Eye Candy, in for 3rd. I thought a big run to defeat Harbor the Energy last time out, but has been on the missing list, hasn't run for a little bit, but did work okay the other day in 101 and change, so this horse could be alive. So I think it's 1, 2, 3. I think it was they're interchangeable. I did go 2, 3, and 1.
I don't have much to add. I put Harbor the Energy on top with My Eye Candy 2nd, Stone Ridge Ruler 3rd. I have the same horses.
I didn't see anything else.
That's it.
Something else really has to jump out.
And I like all 3. I'm with you, Mike.
Yeah.
If any of your pick 4 tickets or whatnot, I would put all 3 in there. 1, 2, and 3 for me. Same horses, Mike. Slightly different order in the 6. On to the 7th, which will be the nightcap of the day. This is a $4,000 claiming event for fillies and mares, non-winners of the year, going 6.5 furlongs. I went to Moonride. I think I thought that was a good second behind Rio Hanna last time. I think if Rio Hanna's in here, she's a very short price. So I put Moonride on top. Again, top connections, Mike Anderson, David Lopez. Lopez always rides really well for Mike, too. They're betting 23% together, so always watch when Lopez rides one for Mike. I put Catch and Fire in the second spot, Breaking from the Rail. She's always second, it seems. She's had 4 seconds out of 9 starts this year. Missed the board once this year. Ultra consistent filly you have to have in there. I put Biscuit, who will be closing, and there should be some pace for her to run at. I put her in the third spot. I went 3, 1, and 2. All my picks are down on the rail.
Yeah, I went to the 1 Catch and Fire. I mean, this filly should be able to make the lead in here and be pretty tough to beat. Dennis Romojo will ride this time, and I think this horse is pretty alive. Moonride really had every shot to win last time. Couldn't pull it off. I didn't think the fractures were that brutal, but still, she's in good form, though, still.
Yeah.
I think it's between 1 and 3. I put the 5-horse Miserable Blue in for third. Horse that I thought ran a creditable race last time. Credible race behind Rio Hanna and the other two, and I just think if there's a little more speed, maybe this one will be a little better. But Dennis Arroyo takes off to ride the 1 Catch and Fire, which I don't blame him. But gets Silvino Morales, who's been very good on horses coming from off the pace. I want 1, 3, and 5. I'm going to go Catch and Fire in the Saturday night closer. That'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday, September 17th program. Next up on screen will be a quick recap of our selections. Back in race number 1, I went to the 3-horse Power to Believe, 3-2-1. Race number 2, I went to the 1 Peyton's Command. Going to go 1, 6, and 8 in the second. Race number 3 went to the 3 Brother Rod. Going to go back to him again, 3, 5, and 4. Race number 4, the 5 Tormenta Negra. Over the 4 Tell Us the Tale, and the 7 Currency Express. Race number 5, the 4 Majestic Mark. A troubled run last time. I think he's the only one that can defeat the 7 Samil Kamin Choi. Those two I think are head and shoulders above the field. I went 4, 7, and 9. 6th race, the 2 Harbor the Energy on a roll. I'm going to go 2, 3, and 1. In the 7th race, number 1 Catch and Fire, 1, 3, and 5.
And on to my picks, there we go. Back in the first, I went to the 2 Creus over the 1 and the 3. In the second, I went to the 6 Cross the Line over the 5 and the 3. In the third, number 5 Blur's Final Command over the 4 and the 1. In the fourth, I agree with Mike on number 5 Tormenta Negra over the 4 and the 8. In the fifth, number 4 Majestic Mark over the 2 and the 1. In the 6th, number 2, Harbor the Energy over the 1 and the 3. And in the nightcap, I went to the 3, Moonride over the 1 and the 2.
Well, that'll do it for this edition of Handicappers Corner. Don't forget, it's a great simulcast day. The Woodbine Mile is this week.
Right, yeah.
Tepin, the filly, is going to once again take on the boys. Lots of great simulcasting action. If you can't make it out to Hastings, please do come on out to the Derby Bar and Grill. The staff here will always treat you well. Lots of TVs on, lots of simulcasting, great food, booze specials. Always great reason to, if you're in the South Surrey area.
You want to watch the races, this is the place to come.
This is the place to go. To the Derby Bar and Grill. On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. Our next live card will be this Sunday, September the 18th, 2 Futurities, 100 Granders,
yep.
Jack and Sadie's. 2-year-olds will be going 6.5 furlongs. Should be a great afternoon. Enjoy and good luck with your selections in the Saturday program. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.